Question. What is this an example of?
How do I love thee? Let me count the ways. I love you till the depth and breadth and height my soul can reach when feeling out of sight. For the ends of being an ideal grace, I love you till the levels of every day.
Do 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 do.
Answer.
This was an example of archaic diction.
Question. What is Chelsea doing?
Chelsea, you can't write in your book.
Yes, I can. I'm just writing critical and explanatory notes in my text.
Answer.
This was an example of annotation.
Question. What is this an example of?
AP US is so hard.
Oh my gosh, AP English 3 is way harder. We have 3 essays on the Scarlet Letter, a project on the Scarlet Letter, a game on like a ton of vocab words. We have all this makeup work before. I'm just so overwhelmed.
Not as overwhelmed as I am.
AP English 3 is clearly harder. I just
not
gave you
true.
all that evidence.
Answer.
That was an example of argument.
Question. What is this an example of?
Did you guys know I've been to the Amazon forest before? Yeah, so this one day, I was climbing through the jungle, and this lion came out of nowhere. So I started running really, really fast, and then I came across this waterfall. You know what I named it? Niagara Falls. That's my story.
Oh my gosh,
That
was
is
so
interesting.
I know.
Answer.
This is an example of anecdote.
What is this an example of?
I like Doritos. Do you like Doritos?
Yeah, I really like Doritos.
I like UK. Do you like UK?
I love UK.
I love Orlando Bloom. Do you love Orlando Bloom?
Answer.
This is an example of common ground.
No, I won't.
This is I told you.
Question. What is this an example of?
Yo, my homeboys, what's tripping in the wood? This is my man, Easy. This is my man, C. He's small but ferocious.
Answer.
This is an example of colloquialism.
Question. We are in a debate over the importance of Kylie's boxers. Hannah, would you like to start us off?
Look at how baggy her pants are. They're just hanging off her. They are hideous.
Kaylin, would you have anything to add?
Her pants are patriotic. She is a representation of our country.
Kaylin's statement is an example of what?
Answer.
Kaylin's statement was an example of counter-argument.
Question. What is Kaylin an example of?
I was sick from school yesterday, and I need to borrow someone's notes. I could borrow Carly's, or I could borrow Kaylin's. Kaylin, can I borrow your notes?
Sure.
Thank you.
Answer.
Kaylin is an example of someone being credible.
Question. What is Hannah's tone an example of?
Kaylin was such a good friend. She was always so nice and caring to me. I'm gonna miss her so much.
Answer.
My tone was an example of.
Elegiac.
Question. What is this an example of?
Hannah, if you don't do this handstand right now, you're not getting food for a month. Go, do it now. You can do it. You can do it. I have faith in you. Go. I did it.
Answer.
Chelsea used hortatory to convince me to do a handstand. Question. What is this an example of?
I'm so hungry I could eat a horse.
Answer.
This
This is an example of a hyperbole.
Question. What is this an example of?
The firehouse just burned down.
Answer.
This is an example of irony.
Question. What is this an example of?
Alright, Corbin, persuade me. Do you know what it's like to work alone? Do you know how it feels to be by yourself? Like in Genesis when it says man should not be alone. Exactly! I love women! I'm glad we're on the same page here.
Answer.
Corbin persuaded me using pathos.
Question. Watch this scenario.
Hannah, climb down the stairs.
Sorry, I couldn't find my dress pants.
Climb down the stairs and dress pants are an example of what? Answer.
Climb down the stairs and dress pants are examples of oxymorons.
Question. What is Chelsea's statement an example of?
Dang, this couch has a rockin' body.
Answer.
This is an example of personification.
Question. What is this an example of?
So last summer I went to the beach, but then the summer before that I went skiing. And then I went to the mall this past weekend, saw the hottest guy working at Abercrombie. He's so gonna date me. Oh, did I tell you guys and the test? Oh, did you like my haircut? I'm thinking about
Do you ever shut up?
Anyway, so then I was talking to him.
Answer.
That was an example of a rhetorical question.
Question. What is this the example of?
You need to reduce your CO2 emissions. Global warming is a tragic event. We need to stop it.
You just don't want me to drive my car because I'm a bad driver.
Answer.
This was an example of a strawman fallacy.
Question. What is this an example of?
Sunglasses are worn outside.
Chelsea's wearing sunglasses.
Chelsea must be outside.
Answer.
That was an example of syllogism.
Question. What are these examples of?
It's such a beautiful day. Like, it's such a beautiful day outside.
It's such a beautiful day outside.
It's a beautiful day.
Answer.
The answer is tone.
Question. What is this an example of?
That looked like it kind of hurt.
Ow!
Answer.
Oh! That was an example of understatement.
Question. What is this an example of?
I turned on the TV.
The TV was turned on.
I painted a picture.
The picture was painted.
I ate a cookie.
The cookies were eaten.
Answer.
She used active voice, I used passive voice, and together that makes voice.
The dog is fat.
Answer.
It was a simple sentence.
What is this an example of?
We, the people of the United States of America, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice and ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense and promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America.
Well, we, the people of the United States of America, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessing of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America.
That took like half the amount of time. Yeah.
Answer. This is an example of pacing. Why do some people say dress, but I say gown? And why do I say cup when people say glass? Why do some people say cry and some people say weep.
Answer.
This is an example of diction.
Question. What is this an example of?
I don't want to study.
You know, I think you should study. If you think about it logically, you have a much better chance of getting an A on the test if you do study really hard.
Answer. This is an example of logos.